This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. Lots to go over. I'm getting so excited because I could just feel the momentum in this space building, you know, regardless of price at sometimes. Sometimes it's obviously pulling back, and, you know, I don't watch price a lot anyway, as funny as that may sound. I do watch it, you know, once or twice, maybe 3 times a day, but I really focus on the fundamentals here. And by the way, side note, if I sound a little funny while I'm talking, I just had 2 cavities filled on the left side of my mouth, and I don't know what the dentist used, but it felt like a sledgehammer. So he could work on his touch. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So we're going to start with this because it gets pretty interesting pretty quickly here, and we'll make this nice and tight. So BondCrypt XRP shows us that digital assets, Fidelity Digital Asset Services, FDAS, has partnered with Stack Funds to enable Asian investors to easily purchase and securely store cryptocurrency assets. Stack Funds is committed to ensuring clients' assets and conducting monthly audits. Fidelity Investments, ladies and gentlemen, does the name get any bigger than Fidelity Investments? I mean, we know that Fidelity itself has been partnered with Coinbase for quite some time, a couple of years now. But the reality here for me is simple. It's like, this is the stuff I want to see. I want to see these massive companies continuing to build out and expand their business footprint in this space. That's what I want to see. And man, oh man, is that going to continue as we show you this stuff here. Looking at this from Lord XRP. I had to say it that way. How could you not? JPMorgan launches digital asset with major tech company on board. We are running, make your positions. I love the sound of that. JPM coin going live this week, and JPMorgan launches digital asset with major tech company on board. Let's get into this article a little bit because I got some stuff I want to talk about when it comes to JPMorgan here. So they're stepping up its payment fraud protection services. One has to wonder, is that to protect against themselves too? Because JPMorgan's been busted for some serious fraud. I just want to show you this if I could really quickly here. So let me just pull this up here. Oh, that's not it. But this is what the one. This is the article, I believe it is. So, at any rate, not too long ago, JPMorgan just got busted for $2.8 billion worth of fines because of fraud. And I have to say, you know, this just makes me crazy because, you know, no one went to jail, right? No one went to jail. And this is about payment fraud protection, but the reality is that this is not the proper article. But I brought this up just to remind everybody that as we look on to the JPMorgan news, they recently got busted for $2.8 billion in fraud. And now they have a JPM coin. And the point I want to make about this is pretty simple. I think it's exciting that JPM has launched their digital currency with a large tech firm on board. Who could that be? I don't know the answer. But I'll tell you this. I think it's exciting because I know that JPM coin was cited side by side as an example at the World Economic Forum as a token for settlement, as XRP was in the policymaker toolkit for central bank digital currencies. Now, with that being said, let's just take a look at this article very quickly. So, first piloted 2 years ago with more than 400 participating banks, including Monetary Authority of Singapore, JPM coin will be used by a large unnamed client to power cross-border payments. JPMorgan, head of wholesale payments, Takis Georgikolopoulos, I think I did that right, at JPMorgan Trace, the firm's digital currency JPMorgan coin is being used commercially for the first time this week by a large technology client to send payments around the world. Listen to this now. I'm telling you, other banks don't want other banks' coin. So first, JPMorgan is focused on relieving the pains of cross-border payments. The bank, which processes $6 trillion worth of transfers per day, I do question that amount per day. Maybe it's per month, but at any rate, it's a lot of money, right? However it goes, because SWIFT is doing $5 trillion a day. I wasn't aware. If it is true, that's great, but I wasn't aware that JPMorgan apparently may be doing more than SWIFT is in a day. That doesn't quite seem proper. Anyway, it's a lot of money, whatever it is, per day, per week, per month, whatever. Has been using an unreliable, complex network of correspondent banks, which may reject the transfers for various reasons, says Georgia Kalopoulos. The cost of rejections can add up quickly to millions of dollars. Well said on that part. Listen to this statement right here. If banks could confirm the payment have the proper account information and regulatory format before they are sent, they could prevent expensive rejections. Well, it's at this time that I want to remind you of something, and it's right here. This is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that passed the rule, amended the rule effective July 21st, 2020, this past summer, making SWIFT and GPI and Ripple and XRP effective for cross-border payment transfers and the transparency of those payments so the sender and receiver can see the cost of the payment and all the information before accepting it. Well, isn't that interesting? Things that make you go, Let's keep moving. Okay. Then we move to this. Ripple partner ACI Worldwide teams up with Mastercard to create new payment solutions globally. Partnership is to cooperate in modernizing real-time payments methods and solutions, listen, for governments, central banks, and other major and smaller market participants. Are you hearing this? Governments, central banks. We're not talking, I mean, they do include corner stores, smaller market participants. But I mean, this is massive, ladies and gentlemen. Massive. I don't think it can be overstated, to be perfectly said. I can tell you right now, this to me is absolutely exciting. This is why I feel things are imminent. And does it directly in every way reflect to XRP? No, of course not. I'm sure that there are situations that are going to benefit Ethereum and smart contracts and that network and the ERC20 tokens on that network. I'm sure that we are going to see, benefits for Flare eventually as well, having a two-way bridge between the ledger and the Ethereum network. I mean, that is massive right there. As well as the XRP ledger. Listen, I've not been shy about this. I'm not going to be shy about it now. I've said from the very beginning on this channel, I believe XRP is not just another digital asset. It is a digital asset that will be a part of the framework of the entire digital asset space. By that, what I really mean is the ledger, because that's what the token runs on, right? And the reality here for me is this. The ledger, the XRP ledger, is the universal highway. I have said before in the past, I believe that the XRP token becomes the base currency for every exchange at some point for consistency. Not long ago, we just reported on the fact that Bitcoin was on the XRP ledger, or could be on the XRP ledger. Chris Larson told us in 2014 they've been able to put Bitcoin on the ledger. That to me is incredible, because if you put all pre-mined Bitcoin on the ledger, it now gets the settlement time of XRP, 3 to 4 seconds. This is bringing consistency, when you think of this, into the whole market. The SEC runs a node on the XRP ledger as well as the Ethereum network. Do you think that XRP is somehow going to dissipate into the sunset and never be seen or heard from again? But the SEC thinks it's so important, they got a node on the ledger. These are the things that we have to remind ourselves of because there's so much information rolling in day to day, hour to hour, to be truthful, that it takes this constant effort to remind ourselves on what has happened a year or two, 5 years ago, and what's taking place today. Excuse me. And reminding ourselves exactly what is unfolding before our eyes. I'll tell you, one of the things, the most masterful things that I have seen since I've been in this space is the way that this space is developing as a whole. I mean, we are really hitting a maturation point, a real inflection point where, you know, we are seeing, just as Glenn Hutchins said the other day, we are seeing that point where now we're going beyond the tokens and we're coming into a new watermark for this space, a new watermark where we're talking about use case utility, defining whether you have a use case. There's where the money's going to go. If you're just a white label and an idea, people invest in those things all the time. But you know what? We're about to see real use case application happen. And I mean for smart contract networks, for XRP, right? Ethereum, and Bitcoin as a store of value. These three have certainly carved out a path for themselves. I also believe that XRP has a potential to either become a global stablecoin or have a global stablecoin built off of it. So these things are getting quite interesting quite quickly. I really do believe that. And over the last 120 days, we've seen more regulation and more narrative carried by regulators here in the U.S. than we've seen in the last 5 years. That's quite a statement. All right, look, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, but I do just want to tell everybody here that this is pretty marvelous news here when you think about the idea of ACI Worldwide, Ripple Partners join forces with Mastercard, global behemoth, to cooperate in modernizing real-time payment methods and solutions for governments and central banks and other major and smaller market participants. Outstanding news, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Make sure you check out the links in the description box or the comment section. Guys, great stuff in there. Get yourself a ledger. Just keep your stuff cold storage if you're looking to do that, or even the unstoppable domains. You guys have been crushing that stuff, and I'm about to go in there and get a couple names that I've been thinking of, and I'll share them with you too once I get them. So catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. See you soon.